So real quick, let me go over with you how this subtraction of integers looks with the model. Let's say we have the problem -5 minus 3. Okay? If I were going to model that with the counters, okay, -5. I'm going to put out 5 negatives. The red side is negative, right? Minus a 3. Okay? 1, that's 3. Alright, now what I want you to keep in mind is that this minus sign applies to everything after it. So this minus applies to this counter, this one, and this one. So really what I have to do is I have to change, when you see minus, minus is the same thing as opposite. I've got to change all of these to negative. So now what do I have on my board? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives. -8. Kennedy, bring me an eraser. Alright, let me show you another one. 10 minus 15. Okay, I'm going to model this. It's a positive 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minus 15. 1, 2. Ken, come help me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right? Now remember, the minus changes everything after it to the opposite. What's the opposite of the positive? Negative. So I've got to change all of these to negative because of that sign right there. So flip them over. They're negative now. Okay, now we use our concept of zero pairs that we already talked about. Okay, and I'm going to use a white and a red, and I'm going to cancel out any zero pairs that I can. White and red together, that's a 0. I'm going to move it off the board. White and red. 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 What do I have left? 5 reds. That's a -5. 10 minus 15 is negative 5. Let's do -3 minus -5. -3, I'm going to model that. I'm going to model this -5. There we go. Thank you, Kennedy. All right. Now, remember, the minus sign, it changes everything after it. It's going to change all of these reds to what?
White.
It's going to change all the reds to white. Okay? When you see this minus sign, start thinking the opposite. These become whites now. Now, do I have some zero pairs? Can I match up these reds and whites? Sure. 1, do the others, Kennedy. 2. Remove those zero pairs. What do I have? 2 whites. That's a +2. Okay? That's the model with the counters. Now I'm going to get you to take notes in your student notebooks. Okay? I'm not sure what page we are in the student notebooks, but turn to the next page in your notes and give yourself your teacher-student column. Okay? Now the steps are still the same. Remember our steps that we took a couple pages back on adding and subtracting positive and negative integers? Step number 1 said to circle or get rid of double signs. So for example, let me give you this one. 2 minus -8. See that right there? Double sign. It's tacky. I'm going to get rid of it. Now your steps say if the double signs are the same, we change it to what?
Plus.
You change it to a plus, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this problem 2 plus 8, okay? And we know what 2 plus 8 is. We've known it for a very long time. 2 plus 8 is 10. Now if I were going to use the boxing in, you could box in if you want to keep it the same every time. 2 plus 8. 2 positives, 8 positives. All together you have 10 positives. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's do -3 minus 10. Alright, do I have any double signs in this one? I have no double signs. There's not the, I've got this, but they're not butted up next to each other. So I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to skip down to where it talks about boxing in my steps. Okay? I've got a -3 and box this 10 in with his buddy. Don't think of that as a minus positive 10. Just think of it as a -10 now. I've got 3 negatives and 10 negatives. They're the same sign. According to your steps, same signs, add and keep. So I'm going to add these together. 10 plus 3 is 13, and keep my negative. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's do -4 minus -7. Do I have some double signs? I do. Right here, butted up next to each other. They're the same. So what do I change it to?
Plus.
Change it to plus. So I'm going to rewrite the problem. -4 plus 7. Alright, step number 3. These are steps that we wrote down a couple of pages back. Step number 3 says to box in your numbers with their signs. So that's a -4 and a +7. Different signs do what? Same signs, add and keep. That's what we did up here. But different signs,
Subtract.
subtract. So I'm going to subtract these numbers. 7 minus 4 is 3. Alright? I have more I have more positives. 7 positives, 4 negatives. I have more positives than I do negatives, so my answer is positive. Okay? I want you to take, on the student side, these 3 problems, and I want you to work them at home and come in tomorrow with your answers. Okay? I want you to do -5 minus -2. Next one, I want you to do 3 minus -11. And the last one, let's do -15 minus 3. Work these problems, follow your steps that we used for addition and subtraction. We wrote them down a couple of days ago. Look at your teacher's side and see if you can mimic what we've done. All right, I'll see you in class tomorrow.